So yeah, I didn't actually plan to be doing this. I've only just put the hard top back on the MX5 for the winter, and I wasn't going to worry about sorting out the soft top until spring. But then on Facebook, a really nice condition Mohair with the frame and seals included came up. So I thought I'd just jump on it and buy that, so I know that it's something I haven't got to deal with next year. Now unfortunately I haven't actually got space to store it anywhere, so I'm going to have to fit it. So the hardtop's going to have to come off. I'm going to have to remove the crappy vinyl hood and then put this soft top back on, fold it up, then put the hardtop back on the MX5. So there's a lot of roofing to be doing. Right, so I've got the MX5 on the drive. Hardtop's going to have to come off, probably going to have to take the seats out for easier access to everything, which means the harness is going to have to come off of the seat, which is going to be fun, and my roll bar is going to cause me some issues getting to the soft top back there as well. So next thing is probably just get the hardtop off and then try and pull the seats out. Right, so that's stage one, hardtop's off. So now I'm just going to have to pull the seats out. So that is 4 bolts. Ignore all this wiring, that's for another video. Right, I've got the driver's seat unbolted, and if I can get my hands down there I'll be able to unclip the harness from the sides of the seat, and think I'll be able to thread it back through here and not have to detach it from the harness bar, so that's a little bit of a bonus. Right, so as you can see I've got one side done, or stripped down at least. So basically the way it goes is you need to remove your trim from there, this seal here. You need to unscrew this screw there and undo the 2 bolts there to be able to pop this piece off and get to a couple of bolts down there. Just need to pop this out. Now you can get to them 2 bolts there, loosen them a bit. Not going to undo them fully because I think I need to pull the hood up to do some more work, so I'm just going to get them undone a bit. Right, so 3 bolts behind each pillar are now done. So there's a few reasons why I want a new soft top. That's one of them. That's another, that's another, that's another. Then there's another, and there's another. And the whole thing just kind of feels crusty, you know what I mean? Yeah, and look at it down this side, we've got serious rips going on now. It'd already been patched years ago. This might be the original roof, who knows. Right, so I've put the hood up and I'm undoing all the little trees that are behind the on the carpet. Just removing them with one of these tools. Hard to even see them. Some of them are more stubborn than others, and you probably will break some. Right, the carpet has now been undone and we can see some bolts under there, so they're the bolts I'm going to do next. Okay, so I'm 4 bolts down and this is very, very tedious. There we go. Well, isn't this a bitch? I see blue sky, but it's raining on me. Right, well it stopped raining. Luckily that was just a quick shower. Did get a little bit damp. And I have now removed all of those bolts from down here. I know it's difficult to see, the light is bad coming through there. But these rails here, there's 3 of them, there's a middle and 2 sides, so I'm going to pull those off. I can hardly see, so I know you can't on the camera. Let's see if we can get it a bit, there we go, it's a bit better. So I'm going to pull these rails off, just kind of like that, and these will come out. And then after I've done that, I'll undo there's 3 bolts behind there, so I'll undo the 3 bolts behind the pillars, and then hopefully this should just lift off. If you're skinny and you're a bit of a contortionist, then you might be able to get away with just removing 1 seat, or maybe none at all if you're that good, but I'm really wishing I'd removed both right now. Obviously I've disconnected the heated windscreen. I've taken the 2 side pieces of trim off, so now there we go, and the middle bit's out. So if I pull that out now, okay, so I'm going to go along the outside now and just kind of pull the soft top off of those bolts. Hello, well, I'm editing this video together and felt the need to jump in here and explain some things before I continue in the video, because let me just pull up a picture and I'll explain what I'm talking about. So basically here is a picture of the new soft top before I fitted it. This thing along the back here, this plastic thing, that's the rain rail. The soft top is actually riveted to this plastic piece, kind of sandwiched in between and riveted on the back side, and then the rain rail is then bolted onto the back of the car, which I'll show you in the next picture here. So here you can see the rain rail with the soft top sandwiched in between, and that then bolts onto these bolts here with that rail from the inside. Now the next bit of footage you're going to see, I'm just pulling the soft top fabric out from the rain rail. Most of the rivets had already sort of come loose and popped off. The rain rail was cracked, and the new soft top that I've got came with a perfect condition rain rail already attached, so I didn't need any of that stuff. But if you have just got a replacement fabric and you haven't got a new rain rail, then you want to be careful of the next part. You don't want to damage that rain rail and crack it, or pull the rivets out from the soft top in any way if you need to save your rain rail. So the next piece of footage, I'm just pulling this out because it's all junk to me. Yeah, there's skanky behind there. Yeah, once you've popped those off all the way around, there's one right down there in the corner as well on each side, and we've undone these bolts, so this whole thing here now moves. Just have to be careful of this. You can remove the whole thing by popping that off. I think I'd probably do that actually now. So by popping that off and removing the screw, this kind of just wiggles out, so as not to bend that and crease it when you take the top off. So now this moves a lot more freely in there. Right, I've disconnected my defroster and sort of pulled that through the sleeve that it was in. Although in the process of kind of loosening this, I've actually disconnected this sensor switch here. So be careful of that. You've got a sensor switch here if you've got heated rear window, and that tells the heated rear window to turn on when the soft top's up and not when the soft top's down. So yeah, I have to undo that and sort out this wiring. Okay, so that's been disconnected now. It's just a little clip that you have to press in and pull off of there and then undo the other wire from that. So that's loose now. Now next problem is there's a piece of plastic trim here, so I need to work out how to either get that off or get this, see, it sort of gets caught on the plastic trim. Yeah, that just pops off there with a little tree. Get this plastic trim piece out the way. Right, we should finally now, yes, finally able to get that corner out. Right, so soft top is off, and I'm taking this opportunity to clean out the rain gutter here. I don't know how well you can see here, but you can see all this gunk here, and this is going to be gunking up my drain holes down there, and that's a major contributor to the rust, so I'm going to make sure that's all cleaned out, drop some water through there, hopefully it will come out the other end. That's good. Right, me and the dog are outside with the old soft top. I'm going to strip off any bits that are either going to be useful or worth any money, such as the seals, the latches, any other bits and pieces that I can get off that might come in handy in the future, or I can sell on eBay and recoup some of the cost of what I paid for my new soft top. Everything's all pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just going to strip it down. Little weather seal here. Oi! Hey! Shh. Okay, these side rubbers are quite easy to peel off. You just need to undo the front screw there. Or 2 screws at the front. And then the front can ease out, and it just kind of unslots out of the middle runners. There's one. Second one isn't screwed in, I think. There we go. Now the third one comes all the way out this way, but at the top, in that pool of water, is 2 little popper caps, some of those little trees. and you can just about get in there and pull them out with pliers if you're careful. So that's the 3 seals along the side. You can undo these with the screws there. They are stuck down a little bit with a bit of glue, so you just need to pry them up if you want to take these off. What are you doing, Bob Buns? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, so that's how you essentially strip off all the useful parts from a soft top. Now I'm just left with the frame and the crappy hood, or the crappy material. I've cut out the back window. I don't know if that's going to be useful to anyone, but it's a heated rear screen, so I cut it out just in case maybe someone who refurbishes soft tops for a living can make some use out of it. Other than that, I think the rest of this is now ready for the tip. Cheeky bonbons. Bonbons, what are you doing? Oi. Right, so this is the hood that I bought, and as you can see it's the mohair rather than vinyl, so it's a lot nicer to the touch. There is a little tiny bit of wear, just little tiny bits of wear, which I might be able to find some kind of fabric glue just to fix those little bits so they don't get any worse. Okay, so I've got someone to give me a quick hand just to kind of get the these 2 middle bits lined up, so I could at least get a bolt in. I've managed to get 1 bolt in over the other side there, but these bolts there on each side are what you need to do first, and then you can kind of attach this rail round underneath there, underneath the seal. So what I'm working on is just kind of trying to massage it so that I can get these bolts lined up. Okay, so just trying to get these 3 bolts lined up first of all, and you really have to kind of wiggle and massage this bracket down in to get these 3 bolts lined up, but I've got them lined up on this side and I've got 1 in on the other side. So I'm going to do these up, get these lined up, then I can flip the whole hood back and forward to do the rest of it. So all the while I've been kind of careful not to fold up and not to bend this bit here, and to keep this all nice and flush. Now that the pillar bolts are in, I'm going to do along the back rail next. So as I said before, I've been tucking this in to make sure this isn't all twisted up. I've put the middle metal rail in the parcel shelf already so that I don't have to thread it through the roll bar. So now I'm going to kind of line this up with the bolts there inside the metal rail and then bolt it up from inside. Right, it's easiest to just have the roof sort of half cocked like this to give yourself a bit of slack to push those bolts in. Okay, so middle rail now needs to go on with the rounded edge facing up. Okay, let's get a couple on there. Okay, so I've got the metal rail in. Now remember, it is the rounded edge goes against the roof and the sharp edge goes down, so that links around there. Now a little tip for doing up the bolts on these edges: it's very difficult to get your hand down here to do the last one in the corner. It's down there, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's actually an access hole right here, so you can see the bolt through there. So get a nice long extension, go all the way through there to do that bolt. I've left all of these bolts across here loose, so I haven't tightened them down yet, because technically you're supposed to do it in a certain order, which kind of like comes from the middle out, but I'll do that in a sec. The next thing I've done is I've now clipped the soft top latches down at the front, so that I know the front is all snug and square. So now I'm just going to tighten up these 3 metal rails or beams and do the straps here. It goes from this bar here, which as you can see is a bit loose, but once you've strapped it down, it helps keep everything taut and stop it from sagging. So this goes on the 3rd bolt hole back on this side piece. So putting that on the bolt like that, and then this goes over the top of it, and then the bolt, obviously that bolts down like that. So that's where the straps go if you've got them. So I'm going to get these tightened up. What I need to do is I need to start in the middle. What I need to do is I need to start in the middle here, tighten this one up, and then kind of work out from there. So it's this one, this one, this one, then this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then that one. So, you know, you kind of bending this out in an even fashion. Okay, so that's the middle one, so then one on the right hand side. And then that one. So I've done up all the bolts around the rail there, tightened them up, and now I'm putting back some of the trim. So I put the carpet back on there. It's already looking a lot better now in here. See if I can get you a bit of a wider shot. So the inside of this soft top is nice, hardly any dirt on the inside. The outside needs a clean, and that's what I'm going to work on next. But for now I'm just going to be putting back all the trim, putting back these little cap things, all along there, the trees like that, and then once I've got all this line along there, I can start putting everything back down the sides. Okay, so that's it all fitted and looking good, but there is a little bit of algae growth. I do want to get rid of that, and I want to protect it as best I can as well before I fold it up and put the hardtop back on. So what I've done is I've gone and bought myself, this was the only thing in Halfords that they had for specifically for soft tops, Auto Gleam, not normally a brand I would buy, so I don't know if this is any good or not, but it's basically a cleaner and a protector, and it comes with a sponge. So we've got a cleaner. Okay, it says step 1, working out of direct sunlight, brush and vacuum the hood to remove any loose dirt. Okay, well I'll give it a brush, but I'm not vacuuming it. I don't think there's much loose dirt on here, but just using a soft brush. Page 2, mask off bodywork area and dampen the roof with water. Mask off the bodywork. How are you going to mask off the body? Move unwanted overspray. Shit. Okay, you've got to be quite careful with this then. Okay, it says let the foam penetrate into the fabric. You can even leave it overnight if it's very dirty, but mine isn't, so I'm not going to leave it overnight. But it's looking a lot better already. So I'm going to let this soak in a little bit longer and then just rinse it off and keep rinsing it till all the foam comes out. Probably should be wearing gloves. I'm going to go wash my hand. This is a good test to see if we've got any leaks. I'm going to get in there in a minute and check. I think there's still a little bit of gunk in places. I'll get that with a sponge. Okay, that's looking a lot better now, so now I'm going to go with the protector. As you can see, looking a lot more black and less green. So this stuff, applying a sweeping motion, remove any overspray immediately. So I'm just going to apply it with this sponge and be really careful. Allow the product to fully dry before driving. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe this on. Definitely going to apply it to the sponge and then work it in with the sponge, I think. Right, well, it's all done, it's all on, it's clean, protected. Just going to wait for it to dry before I put it back down and then put the hard top back on. Unfortunately, bits of crap are already landing on it. But it's a hell of a difference to the vinyl one. It was all cracked and looking gross. It's a shame I'm not going to see it now till the spring, but when spring comes, the hard top comes off and it's party time.